Hi, this is Mark from AltCoin Buzz. Another flash crash in the markets. How can you protect yourself and your investment against this kind of activity? We all know it's volatile, but how can we protect our investment and keep our profits when something like this happens? Let's look at a few ways that are practical and easy for you to get to, and hopefully this will help. Okay, so you wake up in the morning and you come to your chart and you see, or you wake up and see on Coinbase these big flash crashes that happen in here. 11% here, 15% here. How do you know when that's happening? So something like this, you can't really know is going to be coming, right? We were in consolidation, we were in a retraction, a little bit of correction here, and then the rumor has it that a big exchange in Korea is being investigated for fraud. So if that's the case, I'm pulling my money out, right? So all of that Bitcoin is going to come off the market. At the same time, there's a rumor out that Mt. Gox also dumped another 8,000 Bitcoin on the market. So neither one of those things you're going to be able to foresee. But what you can do is know when the price is dropping like that, so that you can put your money on the sidelines until all of that activity gets sorted out and then come back in at a different entry point, right? So that's what we're trying to get to today. So go into TradingView, sign up for a free account. You can sign up for the account with just your email and all that basic information. You don't have to do anything special. You will get some basic tools and we'll go through a couple of those. So go in and sign up, and then you can look up in the ticker section, Bitcoin. And you can see when you do that, you can look at the Coinbase chart, you can look at Bitfinex, you can look at Binance, you can do it tied to Tether or the dollar. You can see all the different options that you have there. So I use the Bitfinex dollar. And then once we get there, we're going to go into the end. And let me just show you this as well. If you want to just use a real fast, down and dirty, what are all the indicators looking like? On TradingView, you've got this technical analysis summary right here. You know, based upon what's going on in a number of different indicators, whether those indicators are lining up to say that, you know, sell or buy that particular coin. This happens on any coin. If we went to Ethereum, so a strong sell in Ethereum as well. I'm probably not going to find anything that's worth buying today. But if we go to show more, then you can see a summary of the different indicators that are being used or that this is evaluating. And you can do it on different time frames. Let's see if anything changes when we go to the 1 minute. Okay, now on the 1 minute, it's showing that we might want to buy some Ethereum. So we'll just stay with we'll go to the 1 day. This is the overall. 17 indicators are indicating to sell, 8 are neutral, and 1 is saying buy. So you've got a number of different oscillators, and you've got some moving averages, and then it's telling you how those things are lining up. And you can look at them down here below. So this is a really nice just summary feature. Now it's not going to give you entry points. It's not going to where the price action is showing where this coin's going to go, which is what we do on the TA when we look at it together. But it does give you an overall indication from a position standpoint, whether it is in a buy or sell, bear or bull market. So once you pick the chart that you want to be in, right now, again, Bitcoin, USD, on Bitfinex, I go to interactive chart and that pulls up my chart. Right now, it's got all the price history. You can change the candles if you want to align. You can do some other things. But right now, for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to go into how to use TradingView. I'm trying to show you, hopefully, how to know when this kind of action is happening and be able to get out if you want to and sit on the sidelines or, you know, have a strategy at least. So let's just say I'm trying to protect my investment from up here and I don't want to crash all the way back down to here. That's a few $1,000s from here to here. Right? So I want to protect myself from that. For the purposes of this example, I want to know if it drops below this price because I'm saying this is about where I'm feeling like the support is on the coin at this point in time when I'm back in here. Well, that's $8,961. Okay? I want to know when Bitcoin drops below that $8,961. If you go up here into alerts and click on alerts, you can see on this chart, I can say when Bitcoin crosses or when that price crosses up, down, greater than, less than, whatever, you know, there's a lot of different things. But let's just say I want to know when that price crosses down over the value of that 89.61. Okay. I can have it tell me every time it crosses over that. I can say when I want that alert notification to end. I can have it alert me through a number of different ways. And then you just simply hit create. and now it's set up and shows you all the alerts that you have in this window over here. So when that price crosses over the alert line or alert level, that I gave it, then I will get an alert. And I can make a decision from there. I can go look at the chart. I can make a decision from there on what I want to do. Okay, so hopefully that helps. That's a very simple way of getting notified when something is going on. Now, this is set up per the chart that you pick. So right now I'm on the 12-hour chart. It's going to use the 12-hour candles to give me that alert, right? If I wanted to know sooner, I would set it up on a 5-minute or a 1 hour, maybe 15. So it is tied to that time frame. Just understand that when you set those alerts. So maybe you're saying, hey, you know what? I don't really, 5% fluctuation in the price doesn't really bother me. I see that day to day, but what I want to understand is overall, how is Bitcoin moving against that 5%? Well, then you can use something like an EMA, an exponential moving average, or some other kind of indicator. But let's look at something simple like moving averages. Now, if you're not familiar with moving averages, let me just explain them real quick. So a moving average is when you take a number of candles and you average that action over time and plot it on a line. So if I take the last 7 12-hour candles, because we're on the 12-hour chart. So again, this is tied to the time frame that I'm on. This is a 12-hour chart, so each one of these candles represents what has happened in the price range and where Bitcoin sits today on a 12-hour chart. If I wanted to say what has been the average of this price action over the last 7 candles, or roughly 3.5 days, then I could chart that saying, give me the last average of the last 7 candles, and then it'll plot it on this line. Once another candle comes in, it'll drop off the last one and average in the new one. And then you get this moving average of the price. So that's a 7-period moving average. This is a 21-period moving average. So now it's taking 21 of the candles and averaging them. And then this is a 50. So this is the last 50 candles. Now, there is a difference between an exponential moving average, an EMA, and an SMA, a simple moving average. The exponential takes into account and weights a little bit heavier the price action on the front end or the most recent candles versus the back end. Simple moving average is just that. It's very simple. It's just using the last 7 or 21 or 50 candles to plot that line. So you may be more interested in the moving averages, kind of the average and how it's moving, what direction it's going. And as you're looking at these, what you're looking for are the crossovers, right? So this is, let's just call the 7 fast, the orange or the 21 medium, and the 50, the red, slow. Okay. When that fast moving average crosses over the medium, then we're going to start looking at what might be going on. I mean, this was a big jump up, right? We had that big spike in April to take that moving average up over our medium moving average. And then you can see it shot right through that 50 period as well, that slow moving average. And then our medium moving average eventually caught up as well and crossed over. So when all 3 of these cross over, you're in a bull market. That's your price action. On average, it's moving. You can see the momentum, right? You can see the trend is up. But what this helps you with is, let's say we were looking at this chart and we see this going on. Is that just a typical movement like it was back in here? Are we just going to now bounce up again off of this, what might be support level, right? We don't see all this over here. All we see is this coming down. And now we're wondering, is this going to be support for us? Well, looking at moving averages, what we could do is say, you know what? That moving average has crossed over our medium. That's not a good indication. When our fast crosses over our slow, okay, it's validated. This is probably not going to be support for us, or it's getting more validated. You don't want to just use one indicator, right? You don't want to just use exponential moving averages to say, oh, okay, well, they've all crossed over and now I need to get out of the market. Because there have been times, let's just see if we can find one. So here's one. Fast moving average crosses over our medium, right? And even over our slow, both are crossed over, and then we bounce right back up. So you don't want to just use this, but it does give you an idea of what's going on. There could be a change when you see this kind of crossover. There could be a change in the momentum, and you can see here it was validated, and it was validated back here when we had all 3 below the slow moving average. So that's a simple tool that you can use to get started on your technical analysis. Moving averages, having a fast, a slow, and a medium, and looking at those on different time frames to get familiar with them. Finding a place that you feel good about. At least moving averages give you some level of confidence in seeing what the momentum of that coin is. Okay, so let's say you want to set up an alert on an indicator. You want to know when the fast indicator on the EMA is crossing over your medium term indicator. We would go into the alerts and this time say basically and this time we'll use the fast indicator crossing over the medium indicator, the 21. So we want to know when that 7, that green, is crossing over the orange. And now we've got an alert, and I'll do it once per bar on this one. And we can create that alert. We can do that up or down. We can do it on, set it for that fast crossing over the medium, and then we could set it for the medium crossing over the slow just by doing it again. So now if we said, now we want to know the 21, the medium crossing over the slow, and create that alarm. So another way of getting notified when something that you want to be aware of is happening within a chart. So what's another way I can protect myself? Well, I could put an order in on my exchange, and here I'm on Binance, to trigger at a certain point, whether it's to sell or to buy. And so let's just say I wanted to sell my Bitcoin if it hit $7,500, just as an example for today, right? Then I would go into the stop limit. I would say, stop it at $7,500. If it hits there, I want it to trigger, and I'll sell my Bitcoin for $75.49. And then I want to sell 50% of my Bitcoin if that happens. Then I would hit sell. It would give me the confirmation to say if it drops below or hits $7,500, then I'm going to place an order for you to sell half of your Bitcoin at a price of $75.49. And then it'll place it in the order book. And if that happens, then it'll try and fill that order. So that's another way to protect yourself. So then you can go to sleep. And if it hits that price point, it'll sell it and put it in or at least put it in your order book until it can sell it at that price point that you said, that you predetermined. And in this case, it'll put it into Tether. I can hold it again until I feel comfortable getting back into the market. Thanks for spending your time with me once again. I hope this was helpful. We got to all be in this together, get this whole space where everybody feels comfortable being involved and we can grow it. Don't forget to join us on all the other spaces and get notified by subscribing and hitting an alert below. Also join us at AltCoin Buzz.io, and you can get to all of our spaces from there. On Twitter at AltCoin Buzz.io, on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere from there. Got great articles from our blog up there. And until next time, may all your trades be successful.